Hello, everyone. I hope you've been enjoying our stories about Earth Week this week. So I have another one for you. The title of this one is called, Why Should I Recycle? So think about that word for a minute, recycle. Have you heard that word before? Do you know what that word means? Some of you might have a container in your homes for recycling. So some of you might already know a little bit about this. So be thinking about what you know about recycling as I read this story. And at the end of the story, I want you to think about what in your own home could you be recycling? Why should I recycle? Illustrated by Mike Gordon. And you can see there a whole bunch of things going into the trash can. Written by Jen Green. In my family, we recycle our garbage. We return things so they can be used again. We didn't always recycle. We used to throw everything away. Look at how full that trash can is. They have a lot of trash. On our way to school, we always pass Mr. Jones's house. Mr. Jones is our teacher. One day, we saw him putting a special box with cans, bottles, and papers by the gate. What are you doing? She asked. This box is for recycling. All these things are taken away and used again, said Mr. Jones. What's recycling? I'll explain it at school. In class, Mr. Jones asked us what we did with our trash. It's just old garbage. We put ours in the trash can, said the kids. Mr. Jones said, garbage contains lots of useful things that can be recycled or used again. But why should I recycle? She asked. That's a great question. Do you know why we should recycle? We're going to find out. Mr. Jones took the class to a recycling center. It had separate containers for bottles, cans, plastic, clothes, and paper. What do you think happens to all the glass that goes in here? Asked Mr. Jones. It gets all broken down to make shiny new bottles. And guess what happens to all the cans that go in here? Asked Mr. Jones. So you can take a glass bottle and put it in recycling, and it will go to the recycling center. And then they turn that old glass into something brand new. They get melted down to make new metal things such as bikes and scooters. Wow, said the kids. And what about the paper and plastic that goes in here and here? Asked Mr. Jones. The paper gets shredded, that means all cut up, and used to make new books and comic books. All these things come from the garbage we just throw away? Yes, said Mr. Jones. Even this plastic can be used to make all kinds of things, including your clothes. You might be wearing some right now, said Mr. Jones. So why waste waste? That means why throw away things that we could use again? Most of the garbage we put in the trash can get buried in dumps that spoil the countryside. It means it makes the earth smell yucky and look yucky. It's good to recycle as much as you can, said Mr. Jones. So what else can we recycle? Notice she's holding her nose because the landfill over here, the big pile of garbage, smells so bad. You can recycle clothes, books, and toys that you don't want anymore. They can be taken to the second-hand store, explained Mr. Jones. So you can give things away that you don't want anymore, but somebody else might enjoy it instead of throwing it in the trash can. We have a secondhand store in town called Goodwill. The food we buy at supermarkets comes in packages that can often be used again. So the girl's holding up a bottle. And instead of throwing it in the trash can, you can recycle it, and then that will be turned into something new. I told Mom and Dad about our trip to the recycling center. Now we buy recycled things at the stores. Recycled paper helps to save trees. You may already know that to get all the paper we write on or the paper that the books are made out of, we have to cut down trees to make these papers. So if we can recycle the paper, that's less trees that we will have to go cut down. We always recycle the plastic bags too. Sometimes we bring our own bag from home. I bet many of you do that now too. We also recycle everything at home. Fruits and vegetable peelings get recycled on our new compost heap. I'm wondering if any of you have a compost bin at your house. The compost helps my mom's prized vegetables to grow. So you can take your banana peels and apple cores and you put them in a bin. And when they sit there for a while, they turn back into dirt that's really good for planting new plants. Now, we recycle so much garbage, there's hardly anything left to put in the trash can. We put it all in the recycling bins now. Recycling is kind to nature. It saves you money and it's fun. So, I want you to talk with your families and see if there are things in your house that you can be recycling. And if you don't know where your recycling bin is, ask and find out if you have one. Okay, enjoy doing your activity now on Seesaw.